Good morning, everyone. Today we are discussing the continuation of the second chapter is matter around us pure, and the topic is separating the components of a mixture. We already know that a mixture contains two or more substances. Hence, to extract these components, various methods are used. To separate some components from these mixtures, we are using various methods. Generally, for heterogeneous mixtures, components can be separated by hand picking, sieving, filtration, etc. In this video, we are going to learn some special techniques of separation of components of a mixture. So, first method is evaporation. This method is used for the separation of non-volatile component from volatile component. So, what is non-volatile component and volatile component? Volatile component means on heating, this component gets evaporated. That is, the solvent is otherwise known as volatile component, and non-volatile component, it does not get evaporate on heating. So once again I am repeating, this method is evaporation. This method is used for the separation of non-volatile component from volatile component. For example, ink is made up of dye and water. Dye being non-volatile gets separated from water during the process of evaporation. That means ink is a mixture of dye and water, dye in water. On evaporation, that is on heating, this water gets evaporates and the ink remains it as residue. Residue means powder. Next method of separating the components of a mixture is centrifugation. So we want to discuss what is centrifugation. Sometimes in solid liquid mixtures, solid particles are so small that they easily pass through filter paper, thereby makes the separation impossible. In such cases, technique of centrifugation is used. In this method, a solid liquid mixture is allowed to spin in a container. During the spin, force acts in inward direction. Heavy particles settle at bottom while lighter particles remain in top. And this is a method for separating components from a mixture based on the difference in the mass of particles. This method is used in clinical laboratories to separate blood cells from blood samples and also for the quick separation of the precipitate obtained during chemical experiments. This method is also used in dairies and home to separate butter from cream. Also, this method is used in washing machines to squeeze out water from wet clothes. Now, hope you understand how can we separate cream from milk. Next, we want to discuss how can we separate a mixture of two immiscible liquids. How can we separate a mixture of two immiscible liquids? Here we are applying the method of, that is, separation using separating funnel. Separation using separating funnel. This technique is mainly used in case of mixture of immiscible liquids. What is immiscible liquids? Immiscible liquid means it does not get dissolved in each other. It stands separately in a solution. And this technique is mainly used in case of mixture of immiscible liquids. This mixture is poured in separating funnel and is allowed to stand still. Immiscible layer of liquids are visible, which can be easily separated by opening stop cork. Where we are applying this method of separation, that is separation using separating funnel. Applications of this method are to separate mixture of oil and water in the extraction of iron from its ore. The lighter slag is removed from the top by this method to leave the molten iron at the bottom in the furnace. Next, we are discussing which method we are applying to separate a mixture of salt and ammonium chloride. Which method we are applying to separate a mixture of salt and ammonium chloride? Here we are applying the method that is known as sublimation. So can you recollect what is sublimation? From our first chapter we have studied what is sublimation. As the process in which a solid when heated changes directly into gas without melting into liquid is called sublimation. So this method can be used to separate the components which have the property of sublimation from the mixture. Ammonium chloride have this property, that is ammonium chloride changes directly from solid to gaseous state on heating. So to separate such mixtures that contain a sublimable volatile component from a non-sublimable impurity, that is salt, in this case the sublimation process is used. Some examples of solids which sublime are ammonium chloride, camphor, naphthalene and anthracene. Next method of separation is chromatography. Where we are applying chromatography? Separation of dyes in blacking using chromatography. In this method, spot of sample mixture is applied on filter paper and the filter paper is placed in solvent. Components in mixture which are more soluble in solvent rises faster on filter paper, thereby separating all components from sample. That means the ink that we use has water as the solvent and the dye is soluble in it. As the water rises on the filter paper, it takes along with it the dye particles. Usually a dye is a mixture of two or more colors. The colored component that is more soluble in water rises faster, and in this way the colors get separated. And this process of separation of components of a mixture is known as chromatography. This technique was first used for separation of colors, so this name was given. Chromatography is the technique used for separation of those solutes that dissolve in the same solvent. And applications of chromatography are to separate colors in a dye, pigments from natural colors, and to separate drug from blood. Next, we want to discuss how can we separate a mixture of two miscible liquids. Here we are applying the method that is known as distillation. This process is used to separate two miscible liquids having sufficient difference in boiling point. In mixture, liquid with the lower boiling points evaporates first, then cause condensation and is collected in container, and liquid with high boiling points evaporates later. Hence, it becomes easy to separate both liquids. If the boiling points of components have very small differences, which method we can apply? Can we apply distillation? No. Here we are applying another method that is known as fractional distillation. Where we are applying this method of fractional distillation? Yes, to obtain different gases from air. Air is a homogeneous mixture and can be separated into its components by fractional distillation. The flow diagram shows the steps of the process. Next, we are discussing how can we obtain pure copper sulfate from an impure sample. Here we are applying the method that is known as crystallization. The crystallization method is used to purify solids. For example, the salt we get from seawater can have many impurities in it. To remove these impurities, the process of crystallization is used. Crystallization is a process that separates a pure solid in the form of its crystals from a solution. Crystallization technique is better than simple evaporation technique. Why? Because some solid decompose or some like sugar may get charred on heating to dryness, and some impurities may remain dissolved in the solution even after filtration. On evaporation, these impurities contaminate the solid. So which method is better? Crystallization is better to separate salt from its mixture. Applications of crystallization method are purification of salt that we get from seawater and separation of crystals of alum from impure samples. Next, we want to discuss physical and chemical changes. The interconversion of states is a physical change because these changes occur without a change in composition and no change in the chemical nature of the substance. Although ice, water and water vapor all look different and display different physical properties, they are chemically the same. Burning is a chemical change. During this process, one substance reacts with another to undergo a change in chemical composition. Chemical change brings change in the chemical properties of matter and we get new substances. A chemical change is also called a chemical reaction. Sometimes both physical and chemical changes takes place. Burning of a candle is an example for this. So this chapter is over and you will have a test paper in the next class. So study well and prepare for the exam. Thank you.